Brodes Media.
What a week for one Howie Roseman. And for us, Eagles fans who finished off the year in a mindset that we've never been through before. We've never experienced that end of a season ever. And now we're in a position where we are dissecting the first week of the free agency period. And I'm recording this Friday morning. So, hey, maybe something even happens throughout Friday afternoon and Friday evening. We still have Saturday. My point is, the first week, we got hit with Bryce Huff, Saquon Barkley, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Devontae Parker, say what you will about it, but Devontae Parker, we've been screaming that we need an upgrade from Quez Watkins forever now. I don't know if that's the answer or not, but it's a splashy name. And now add Devin White to the mix. That's absurd. So thank you, Howie, because I didn't know what it would take to get me out of that funk because it was very uncomfortable. I was nauseous 24/7, and I thought I was going to pop a billion blood vessels. I was sick and tired of screaming in anger. I didn't want to do it anymore, but I was so pissed. I mean, it was gross. So how do you get us out of that situation emotionally? Well, you have a week of free agency like Howie just did. Amazing. I like the Devin White move. Of course, it comes with some negativity. Well, he got benched by Tampa Bay. Well, he's not the same player he was back in the early stages of his career when he was drafted super high, won a Super Bowl, Tom Brady. Okay, here you go. Listen to me right now. Nicholas Morrow, a guy the Eagles didn't even want. They made it very clear, we don't even want you. They were so desperate at the position that Nicholas Morrow wore the green dot on his helmet. Do you know the importance of a green dot on the helmet throughout an NFL game? Nicholas Morrow was the one in that position. Devin White is a pro. He's coming off of a dip, no doubt about it. But he is an incredible linebacker when he plays well. And I don't think that he's just terrible now. I just don't. I don't. Especially in a position where the bar's not set very high. All right? I mean, we watched Nate Gary. We've watched Alex Singleton play every snap. I mean, it's gross what we've been put through. And that doesn't mean you just have to throw a parade for someone that's not incompetent, right? I mean, the bar isn't go get someone who's not incompetent. It's go get somebody good. But Devin White is good. Devin White is a pro's pro linebacker. And I'm sure you're sick and tired of hearing me say this too. But man, is it important to bring in a leader of a defense. You lose Fletcher Cox. You lose Jason Kelce. I can't overstate it enough how important some of these personalities are and some of these pros are when you lose something so massive in that locker room. So Saquon adds even more. And now you also have Devin White. You can blitz with him for sure. It'll be interesting to see what Vic Fangio does. I'm excited. Like, you can't ask for anything more than this. If the tampering period started, or if it was the day before, and I said, listen to me right now. You're going to get Huff. You're going to get Barkley. You're going to get C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You're going to get Devontae Parker and Devin White. You're going to sign Landon Dickerson to an extension, so you're going to make sure your left side of your line's going to stay intact, and that's what we're going to roll forward with before the draft even begins. It's not over. You still got plenty of time to add talent. I'm seriously convinced that they're going to draft a cornerback in the first round, which blows my damn mind. But I truly am convinced that it's the case. I don't know if they're going to stay where they are. Howie's always picking up the phone. I don't know if they shoot up and they try and move up into the draft to snag somebody. I don't know what they do. But the point is that this is all done prior to even getting to some sexy draft picks to add some youth to this team as well. That's crazy. That's crazy. You can't ask for anything more than this. Wow. Here's another part to the Devin White experience, too. I'm not sold on Nakobe Dean, but it has nothing to do with Nakobe Dean, the person. I think I told this story before, but I had a chance to interview him, and man, that kid just seems like a polished dude. Like, oh, I walked away from that interview going, damn, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Just some of his answers, what he was doing outside of football, how he was, just focusing on his craft. Like, I was like, wow, kid gets it. I liked it a lot. Working with a Devin White, I think can maybe help Nakobe Dean reach a level where without Devin White, I don't know if it's the same. For example, and I'm just throwing out names, but if Nate Gerry was next to a Nakobe Dean, I don't think Nakobe Dean can do research with Nate Gerry to really learn. I don't think when you're watching film with Nate Gerry or Nicholas Morrow, you ask the same questions, you get the same information from them. Devin White's a real pro, and he's not old. He's not 30. 26 years old. 26. That's why this whole, well, he broke down. Well, maybe he was dealing with something. Maybe there was a lingering issue and his knee wasn't right. There was something bothering him with his foot, an ankle. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't healthy. And that was causing him to not play 100%, which then made Todd Bowles go, dude, you don't have it right now. You don't have it right now. So I got to do what's best for my squad right now. Then he gets an off season to recover, go through some PT. I'm sure he was banged up. Listen, you make it to the end of the regular season. You're making the playoffs. Maybe he wasn't 100%. Or maybe it wasn't that. And he just had a down season. But first off, I'll take the risk. We're going to act like now it's a bad calculated risk to take somebody with a ceiling like that at the linebacker position. It's all calculated risks, people. All of it. No matter what decision you make. Paying Jalen Hurts, calculated risk. But I think it's okay. First off, if it doesn't work, we'll give you that. If it doesn't work, let's work with this for a little bit. So what? So what? You're not murdered for the rest of time here for some disgusting contract. And we've seen poor linebacker play as it is. So, all right, then it's prototypical Eagles at this point. And then, of course, I'm going to get on Howie's ass and say, do something about it. All right? I don't just accept it. Your job as a general manager is to put the best roster together, and if something doesn't work, then you have to think on your toes. Then you have to get creative. You have to set yourself up, and that's what they do well with the offensive line. Hey, if this guy goes down, we could slide in a Jack Driscoll. If this guy goes down, we could slide into this guy. Hey, we have Cam Jurgens waiting. If this guy gets hurt, here's Cam Jurgens. They think ahead. They properly plan accordingly. If this happens, we have this. They did it last year with those young corners. And, if someone gets injured, we have Josh Jobe, Ringo, and Eli Ricks. And I didn't like all those options, but in their mind, it was good enough. I hold you accountable. Not good enough for me. Therefore, you need to do better. But the forward thinking is, okay, if White doesn't pan out, what do we do? Well, you better find that answer. But if it doesn't work out, it's a fine risk to take with the super high upside that I haven't seen in I don't know how long. So can we be excited, please? I beg of you.